Why, hello, Computer Studies 10. We're going to be doing some more image editing. I really hope you're having a fun time with these little image editing projects, combining some cool things together. I've seen some of them, and they're pretty fun. I have to say, some of the ones you've already turned in, my hat goes off to you for some fun things. If you're not having fun with it, then you're not trying hard enough. Honestly, I think the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. Ultimately, have fun and learn some stuff, and you're doing it right. Okay? So, regardless of how great, or how much fun you had doing the project, I think we could all stand to improve our skills a little bit. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to show you some slightly more advanced techniques. For example, in front of us, right up here, is this desert, this blasted, a post-apocalyptic landscape. Very harsh light, red light. Not even sure if that's some filters or something applied to make that look so garish. But that's okay, because that's a cool thing you could see in a movie or something. And what I like to do is I'd like to add my boy Megatron. Yeah, I don't actually like this version of Megatron. If I'm being completely honest, I'm a bit of a Megatron snob. And Transformers in general, a bit of a snob with that. I feel strongly about, and when I say I feel strongly, I'm 99% joking on this, but I'll continue. I feel strongly about the 1980s Transformers, and I like them much better. So I prefer the Megatron that transforms into a teeny tiny handgun. Oh, this big super robot transforms into a little tiny gun. I think that's fantastic. I could write an essay on that. I could go into the themes. I could go into psychology. Oh my gosh. And maybe you're here for that, but I don't think so. I think you're ready for me to move on. Maybe you've already skipped past my Megatron discussion. You can let me know on Teams or the comments if you want more Megatron discussion. But anyways, I'm good for Megatron discussion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Megatron. I'm gonna stick him in the desert. There you go. This is like a place Megatron might hang out, right? There's a couple problems with this, though. And the first problem is the lighting that this majestic pose that Megatron is in is so much brighter. It doesn't match with this, red, orange, harsh light. That's not going to look good. So it's going to stand out as an obvious Photoshop right away. And second of all, when I go to bring them over, all these things have these obvious shadows. He's not going to have a shadow. So we're going to fix those two things. I'm going to show you how to bring it over, how do you adjust colors, and how do you make a fake shadow. And that's going to be some pretty seriously improved skills that you will now have for your photoshopping or, photopia-ing. I don't know how that's pronounced. Is it Photopia or Photopea? I'll let you decide. It's like GIF or GIF, and I know many people are pro GIF, but I'm sure there's a small minority out there fighting to stay alive. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. Let's move on. Apparently, I'm very, very weird tonight. I'm gonna take Megatron, and hey, by the way, what's up? Sorry. Notice how he's already cut out. Isn't that great? Oh my gosh. I wish I could zoom in. I don't know why I can't. Whoa. But can you see like under his armpits and like all these little metal shards and stuff? It's all cut out for me. And I found that picture with a transparent background. Sometimes that helps a ton. That can make your life a lot easier. So feel free to search. Sometimes you find fake images with transparent background, but sometimes you get lucky. Okay, so Megatron, let's go. We're going to the desert. So I'm just gonna use the move tool. And we're going to drag him over to the desert tab. Whoa! He's so big. He's a big boy, chunky boy. Which is fair. Blah. Open to new tab. I'm used to the shortcut for transform being Command T. It's not in Photopia. Anyways, it makes sense he's big, but he's not got to be that big. So we can do transform and do free transform. I'm just going to note right now, Command Option T. I'm going to press Command Option T. If you're on a PC, it's probably something else, but you can look it up. Okay, so I'm going to shrink this down to a more manageable size, and it's still too big. Okay, let's get our chunky boy in there. Sure. Looks pretty good, right? All right, let's zoom in a bit. Okay. So there he is. He's in the desert now. Whatever that is. I think it's a farm, actually. Now that I look at it more carefully. Very different from a desert, but maybe it's during a drought. I don't know. I'm not feeling great, folks. Just go with me. It's a desert. Okay, so next we want to match Megatron's lighting. He is so bright. He is just a shining star. A happy, wonderful robot. We want him to be in the depths of the apocalypse. This dark red, contrasting light. Okay, so we're going to do that pretty straightforward. Make sure you have your layer selected. I'm going to go over to Image and Adjustments, and I am going to go figure this out. There's so many choices. Oh my gosh, so many. We're going to talk about Hue Saturation right now, but there's so many to explore. And many of them do very powerful and useful and interesting things. So we'll start with this one, Hue Saturation. Check this out. You can basically use these sliders to control the colors of the layer. And I'm not going to worry too much about the different ranges. I'm just going to do an overall sort of adjustment. So what I can do is slide this along to go to the reds and the yellows. And, we can go there. And I can also pump up the saturation and the lightness or brightness. So, we can find a reasonable place for him to be. And I think that'll look pretty great. And you know what? We're not getting a lot of color. I mean, sometimes we are. If we want him to be purple, that'd be great. Not getting a lot of really great greens. We could try colorizing. So I'm going to check that box off down here. Do you see that? I could zoom in. Enhance. Oh, wrong zoom. Oh dear. I don't know what I've done. Megatron, come back. No, this is the way to zoom in. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I just checked off colorize, and that way it's sort of forcing that color onto every pixel, as opposed to just adjusting certain ones. So now we can adjust a little bit better. So red. Wow, that's very red. That's Megatron is blushing. So this is his birthday apparently, and he's getting a surprise party out in the desert. I think a little bit more yellowy would look good. And then check this out. I can change the saturation. If I go all the way to the bottom, if I bottom it, I guess if I go to 0, that's where it stops. It's like I have absolutely no color change at all. So as I move this up, it sort of filters it, and I can max it out, and he can be a golden C-3PO style robot. But I can just kind of chill it out and be somewhere around here. The darkness I can also kind of scale down too. Check that out. Ooh. Nice. I think that looks really dramatic. I think he's a little more red. Needs some more red. Let's get to the red. I don't know. We can adjust it. There's other tools to get more precise stuff. We'll take a look at in other videos, but this one requires a pretty big brush here. So there we go. I think it's looking pretty good. Still looks kind of fake though, because he's not got a shadow. So check this out. We're gonna make a shadow. Really easy shadow. I am going to duplicate the layer, and you can see the layer it's here. Woo. And I'm gonna turn it into a silhouette. Same tool actually. I go to Image, Adjustments, and Hue Saturation, and I don't think I have to colorize. We just drop it down all the way. And then I'm going to use Transform to kind of flatten it out. There's actually a few different kind of transforms. I can use the free transform just to get it into rough position, like here. But it's a couple problems. One is that it doesn't quite match up with feet, and also I'd like it to kind of spread out. The shadow should kind of spread out to you. And if you wanted to adjust it or shift it around, maybe the light's not always directly behind your source. You probably need to know how to deal with that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use a different kind of transform. So I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to show you some examples. A fun one is Warp. I really like Warp because you can just click and drag, and your layer turns into silly putty. Look at this. I'm just kind of adjusting it and moving it around. Looks good. I'm just wanting to like sort of, mold it. If there was like this big hill, you could kind of like loop it over the hill, kind of warping it here and there. I'm gonna maybe warp it a little bit higher up here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and maybe a little bit more up there. Yeah, that's okay. And then I'm going to press enter, and then there's a couple other ones. Oh, I guess by the way, the shadow should be underneath the character, so I'm gonna move that shadow layer just below. There we go. Now the feet are on top. Nice. Still not done. I would like to use my other transforms. Good old Distort is a really good one. Distort's cool because you can use it to like skew just one corner. So you can use it to like a shift over, like a whole thing over to the side. Or you can kind of spread something out as if the shadow is getting larger and coming at you. So I'll probably do something like that. Yeah. Now it's a little bit wonky there in the corner. So we might have to touch that up with the eraser. But here's like the big exciting moment. We're going to change the opacity of our shadow. Opacity is how solid something is. If something is opaque, well, no, how see-through something is, I should say. If something is opaque, it has 100% opacity. That means you cannot see through it. Kind of like a wall, right? You can't, well, unless you're Superman or something, you can't see through a wall. However, glass is like 0% transparency. Opacity. You can see straight through it. So over here, I'll zoom in. Maybe I'll try. Whoa, I did it. Whoa, here it is. Whoa, I don't want to show the ad. Sketchy ad. It's not that sketchy. Excuse me. Here we go. We can change that opacity. And you can just do the drop down and like drag it. I'm going to zoom out so I can see what the heck the shadow looks like as I do that. No, it's not bad. But that's looking pretty good, I'd say. Yeah. Okay. Cool. 46 is my number, but you can choose whatever number you think is appropriate. I might make that darker. I don't know. I'm not going to spend too much time thinking about it because, you got things to do other than listening to me. So I might touch that up a bit with an eraser, or I might even get a black brush. The brush with a black, paint. Is that the word? And paint on that layer, and just notice. If I do that, notice that it's like shadowy. The opacity that I applied is also applying to that. Anything I add in there. So yeah, you can experiment with it. Anyways, I think I'm going to call that good. You could toy with these things endlessly, right? You could have a lot of fun playing with these and adjusting, and you should go do that. But you probably shouldn't watch me do it. So I might adjust it a little bit and go from there. Okay. So have fun with making a character, bringing a character onto this desert. I'm going to place the desert image in the in the team's channel. I don't have words. I'm sorry. I'm going to put that desert picture where you can get it in Teams, and you're going to put somebody in the desert, and you're going to make a shadow for them, and you're going to do some color adjustments. And I recommend something pretty straightforward, Nothing too crazy, but have fun with it. And let me know. I'm going to have a Teams assignment for you to upload that, and I can't wait to see what fun things you guys create. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Hope you had a good time. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.